Paolo.
Aw.
Hey, buddy.
Hi, baby boy. I love you. I love you. If he knew anyone else was in this apartment, he would not be acting this way. He's acting like a normal dog. He's like, yeah, I'm just chilling. Just being a look at that boy.
He's a
Could
good
you be more
boy.
handsome? Is that Big Pal? Is that Big Pal? Oh, still a boy at heart.
Welcome to That Wasn't the Plan. I am Emily White,
I'm Courtney Holland.
and thank you for listening.
Welcome. But he really has no idea. Like, he just thinks I'm talking to myself, which is not unusual. So that's why he's kind of bored with it.
That's okay. He's like, I'm just here for the ride. Well, welcome to the show, Paolo.
Yes. That wasn't the plan, was it, Paolo? Oh, dear heavens, no.
Giving you
Love
that
him.
side eye.
He is. Now he's, see you later, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Going back to bed.
Cool.
All right. So,
All right.
Emily,
Yeah.
I'm dying to hear about some of your travel, like more detail about some of your, like, I remember
Yeah.
I got a text from you
Yeah.
randomly, summer. Yeah. And you were like, how far are you from Dulles Airport? And I was like,
Mhm.
I'm a good 4-hour drive.
Yeah.
And you were like, because I'm in Dulles and I'm going to Italy. And I'm a freaked out. You didn't say
Yeah.
that, but
Yeah. See, in my mind, you land in Virginia or Dulles, and you're like 20 minutes away. Virginia's that small to me at that point.
well, and I used to be.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Oh,
Because
that
when
could be
you
why.
came,
Yeah.
I lived in Northern Virginia, so Dulles
That's
was like
why.
piece of cake. Yeah, that's
All right.
exactly why. So now I was a little bit
Well,
further.
are you ready for a story, Courtney?
Oh gosh, I'm so ready. Hit me hard.
Sit back, relax, and let me share with you one of my many travel stories that went
Yes.
awry.
I love
So,
it.
yeah, it was a year ago. Um, and I had just started dating Beau. We had been together 3 months at this point. It is March 20th,
Mhm.
2025,
Beau is your
and
current beau, correct?
he is my current beau. But back in January, we'd only been dating a few weeks at this point. He invited me to go to Italy with him. He was doing some business out there, and he's like, "Do you want to come to Italy? I have, I'm doing this stuff in Bologna, which is like the food capital of Italy."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Hell
I
yeah, I
said,
want to
yeah,
go
I
to
had no
Italy."
idea. Bologna. I was like, that's not real.
It is. It's just in
Cute.
this gorgeous northern part of Italy.
Wow.
The best food in the world, Parma ham, which is basic kind of like prosciutto, Parmesan cheese, you name it, just yum, 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 all the
They got
foods you
Italy
wanna.
stuff in
I
Italy.
mean,
That's neato.
Italy. And it's all, like, fresh and whole and yummy and natural,
Yeah,
so, of course, I
right.
said yes.
Yes.
So, we decided to book our separate tickets. He had miles with Delta, and I had a ton of, miles with American Airlines, which is a
Mhm.
partner with British Airways, and so I pulled up my app or on the computer, and British Airways is at this point doing their winter sale, and so I'm looking at flights from Seattle to Milan because that was where we were flying into, and then taking trains, and we were kind of doing a few little short trips before we had to get into Bologna.
So
So
cool.
yeah, so at this point, I've traveled a lot in my life, and I've done, from Seattle to Europe before, and it's a long flight. It's 10 to 12 hours. And I thought British Airways is having a sale and their business class tickets are on sale. I am going to splurge on a layback seat in business class. Nothing I've ever done before. I'm an economy girl,
Yeah, me too. Always.
always. But this time they were having business class seat for $1,300. Economy was $900. And I thought,
Well,
what's an extra $400 when you get a layback seat on an 11-hour flight?
dude,
Doing it. And yeah, I don't
wow.
really care about like the super service, the better meals, all of that. I was just in
Yeah.
it to sleep.
Yes.
Especially, and so in my mind too, a girl, I had just started dating this guy. I wanted to show up cute, fresh, relaxed, that sort
For
of thing.
sure. Now wait,
So
tell me
yeah,
how long had you guys been dating at this point? I'm sorry.
when I booked the ticket, like a few weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay, that puts a different spin on it. And why
Yeah.
didn't you fly together?
Because we were each using our own miles. And he had
Oh,
miles with Delta. I had a miles with American,
yeah,
which is partners with British. So I decided to
got it.
splurge, spend miles, spend some money, and just get myself a really nice seat. And I was
And
like,
you deserve it.
Like, why
You
not?
work hard. You
Fun.
work hard.
Yeah. So, morning of the flight, March 20th, get up. I was anxious. I get up early. My flight doesn't actually leave Seattle until 12 p.m. I work out. I get to the airport early because of my anxiety. And
How do you
my
get to the
flight,
airport? Do you
I
take
take an
Uber?
Uber because I'm
Got it.
only about 15 minutes from the airport here in
That's
Seattle, which is
awesome.
nice. Yeah. So actually, my flight, I ping ponged around before I even get to Milan. So my flight was Seattle to Dallas, Fort Worth in Texas. Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas to London, and then London to Milan.
Oh, okay.
So it's like 21 hours of travel, hence another reason why I was like, let's get that when I do the long haul overnight, the lay down seat will be nice.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
yeah, so I get on the plane, everything's on time. We fly to Dallas, which is 4 hours from Seattle, and I have about an hour and a half layover. I change terminals, get on my airplane there, get into my business class seat, which is really nice. I'm really excited. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Do they give
We
you alcohol?
Yeah, they give you everything's free. So, and you get a really nice fancy meal and I recall the food being nice. Like I got a little appetizer and then they come back with dinner and it was really nice,
What?
all the alcohol you'd want. But I don't drink too much on flights. And if I do, it's usually just like a vodka soda or something because I don't want the sugar. It just makes me swell up and then
For
I feel
sure.
like shit. Plus,
Yeah.
you always get really dehydrated on planes. So I try not to drink too much, but enough to kind of knock you out.
Do they hand
So
you champagne when you sit? I'm so sorry. Last question.
no, they don't do that,
I
but I'm
thought they
sure you
did.
could ask for it and they would do it.
I
Maybe
thought they
they do
did.
that in first class, but they don't do that in
Do
business.
they give you a warm towel?
Yeah, they give you the warm towels so you can, like, wipe down your face and your hands and get
When
settled
does the
in, and
masseuse come and
yes, they all come in around dinner service.
oh my god. That's fancy.
So, our flight
Sorry.
leaves Dallas around 7 p.m. Get on the flight, within an hour or 2, they do the dinner service, and then they kinda turn out the lights. So
Oh,
I get up and I go to the bathroom, and the bathrooms in business class are huge. Like, it's
that's
just
so
this big
rude.
thing where you can spread out, you can actually change and stretch if you wanted to. It's quite nice. There's no shower, but it's a bigger bathroom. So I go in and
Oh
I
my
brush my teeth, wash my face, all of that.
in an
Get back to
airplane bathroom. Oh
I
my god.
know, I know. So I get back to my seat. I put it into the lay down thing, and mind you, it's a lay down seat. It's 6 feet of length that you have there, but it's very narrow. So I'm tossing and turning, and I can't really get comfortable because I'm really anxious still. I'm really excited. I can't believe I'm in business class on a long haul flight to London. Like, oh, and then when I get to London, along with that, I can get into the British Airways lounge, and if I needed to shower or anything before my flight to
You
Milan. So that, I
can
mean, I wanted all these perks in order to show up in Milan fresh to this guy
yeah.
that I just started dating and being like,
Hello.
oh, how was your flight? Oh, nothing, easy.
Yeah. Piece of cake. No big deal. I'm
No big deal.
glorious.
So toss and turn, and then I pop like half of one of my sleeping pills because I'm like, this is ridiculous. I just need to get some shut eye. So I take it and
Mhm.
I start to wind down a little bit, and then I fall asleep for I think maybe around 2 hours. My anxiety wakes me up, and I'm in the window seat. And my shade is drawn, but I can see through the window just a bit of a glow outside. And then I look at my watch. My watch hadn't reset itself because, there's no Wi-Fi or anything on the plane, and it's a smartwatch. But what I'm guessing to be is around, I don't know, 5:36 a.m., and we're supposed to land in London at Heathrow Airport at 7 a.m. And there's a bit of a glow outside, and Seattle and London are on the same parallel, same latitude. So I'm guessing that that's the morning light, coming in the plane. So I get up, I go back to the bathroom, brush my teeth, wash my face again, just try and get fresh for when we land. And I
Keep it
come back to my,
fresh.
keeping it fresh, come back to my seat, and I pull up the shade, and it's pitch black outside. And I was like, "Oh, that can't be right." And I was like, "Well, maybe my timing is just off or something." So then I flip open the TV and I pull up the flight tracker. And our flight tracker has us just past Newfoundland over the Labrador Sea, and
Newfoundland.
you Newfies, and we had turned around. It's a big U shape, and now we are heading down the eastern seaboard of the United States and Canada. And I'm thinking,
Uh,
"What the fuck?" I'm like, they had to have pulled up somehow another flight. Their information is now loaded onto our screen. This can't be right. because in my mind, I am like, there is no way that this flight got turned around because not 5 months ago, I was on a flight from Seattle to Costa Rica, and I flew Seattle to Phoenix to Houston, met my brother in Houston, and then we were the Houston flight into San Jose, Costa Rica, also got turned around over the Yucatan and Belize and
What?
started heading back to Houston.
What
So in
the frick?
October, before this March trip, or I was on another flight that got turned around and
What?
had to go back to the place of origin. And I was like, so and here I am sitting on this British Airways flight, thought I was going to London. Nope, we've turned around and we're going back to the United States for whatever reason. The cabin of the airplane is still pitch black. Everybody's asleep. There's no flight attendants doing anything. And so I'm like, what is going on? What is going on? No one's telling us anything. And then finally, about 30, 45 minutes later, they bring up the lights. The captain gets on and he's like, hey, folks, some of you may have noticed that we have turned the plane around and there has been a fire at London Heathrow. One of the substations caught fire and the entire airport is shut down. Now, we had thought to possibly go to Frankfurt or Paris because we were on one of those big double-decker airplanes.
Yeah,
And he
big
said,
old things.
big old thing. And he's like, but there's only a handful of airports in the world that can support this type of plane, London being one of them, and then Frankfurt and Paris being the other two in Europe. He said, but then because I think FAA regulations say whenever there's an emergency, the flights have to turn around and go to the destination of origin. So technically, we should have gone
Oh.
back to Texas. But the captain said, we don't have enough fuel to get to Texas. We have to go to Washington, D.C., Dulles
Oh my
Airport
god,
outside
what a
in
mess!
Virginia and land because that's the other than JFK, I think that's the only other airport that we can make it to with the amount of fuel that we have. Or JFK was now packed full of flights
Of
because
course,
the
yeah.
London thing. So we had to get down to Washington, D.C., Dulles.
Damn.
So I'm sitting there and I'm fuming. I think everybody is. And I'm just like, all right, well, I'll just wait. Like, they're gonna tell us what to do. So we finally land, we get off the plane, and then it's like another and they're like, "Go down and get your luggage, go to a hotel." And at this point, it's 4:30 in the morning on a Friday in Wa
Oh,
in
shoot. In
yeah,
DC, which is
in DC, in
well,
Dulles,
outside of DC, yeah.
outside DC. So we get off the plane, they give us these vouchers and they're like, "Go to any hotel that you can find a room. We'll pay for it. Just
Yeah.
here's the voucher, you can email us the receipt, that sort of thing. We will be in touch with you, email whatever your preference was
No.
when you booked the ticket to let you know when this flight will take back off and you need to come back to the airport.
Right.
For now, please just go get your luggage, find a hotel and settle in." So I see everybody's racing off the airplane, like immediately jumping on their phones,
Oh
calling
god.
hotels all over the place. I'm like, I need to calm down. I still have my sleeping pill kind of in my system.
Oh, yeah, so
And
you're
I'm
like,
just
"We're
like
good."
anxiety. And I'm like, should I call a hotel or I'll just go get my luggage. And then I'm like, that'll calm me down a little bit. I will then find a shuttle and I will get to a hotel or I'll call hotels and see who has rooms and I will, go from there. So I go downstairs, baggage claim, and they start spitting out all the bags on the flight. And I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. And I look at my watch and about 45 minutes has gone by and there's no more bags coming off. And there's about 20 of us still standing around and we were
Oh.
looking at each other.
Oh,
And I'm like,
bless
were
your
you
heart.
guys, yeah. And everyone's like, were you on the London flight? And everyone's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So then we all start huddling together.
Good.
And one woman is like, I've got an air tag on my bag. And she pulls it up and she's like, my bag is still in Texas.
Oh,
And
shit.
so then we start to talk to one another, and it turns out all of us making a connecting flight into Texas, none of our bags made it on the
Oh.
Texas to London leg. So somehow that baggage carrier is
Oh.
still on the ground in Texas. Those bags never got loaded, but I still had faith that somehow my bag was here. So I
Yeah.
wait and I wait and I wait, and
Oh,
somebody
Emily.
from our little group, there's always that and it's usually a woman in the group who's like, I'm going to take charge. And
Yeah.
there was that lady, and she went upstairs and she found a British Airways agent. She brought him downstairs to tell us that there were no more bags on them. Like, what do we need to do? And he's like, she brought him downstairs and he looks at all of us and he's terrified at this point because now
Yeah.
there's this horde of people. And he says, we have
I
scrubbed that plane. There is no more luggage. We apologize. Your luggage did not make it. You need to contact these people, blah, blah, blah. But for now, please go find a hotel. British Airways will call you, email you, text you when this flight, and you will be on the same airplane because now this airplane is grounded and this plane has to get back to London. The flight
Yeah.
crew has to get back to London. You all have to get to London.
Yeah.
He said, we will let you know when this flight is going to take off. But for now, we don't know. And the only thing that we do know is that Heathrow is closed until midnight and it's 4:30 in the morning. So now I've got 16 hours before this flight even can possibly take off. So I reluctantly leave the airport thinking I keep looking over my shoulder like my bag is just gonna come walking up to me like, "Wait, wait, 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 wait."
I made it.
Yes, because all of my stuff is in my bag for, 10 days in Europe with my new boyfriend. So
Oh god, panties.
I know. So kinda, you form a little friendship with some people and then you start to talk to
Oh,
people and other people are like, "You know what? I was just gonna be over there for a week. Is it even worth going anymore? Or do I just book a flight back home?" And another guy is like, "Well, I was supposed to jump on a tour. I was, flying into London, but then getting on a tour thing and going up to the Scottish Highlands, and now my tour group's gonna
wow.
leave without me." So then
Whoa.
it puts everything into perspective for you that I'm like, "Well, I didn't actually have to be anywhere."
Yeah.
So I do, you know, I don't have as big of a problem as everybody else.
Yeah.
So one guy is like, "I called the West and they've got rooms." So I get on the shuttle, go to the West and get myself a room, come up to my room, throw down all my stuff. I strip off all of my clothes.
Yeah,
I
girl.
throw them in the sink with soap and shampoo and I start scrubbing because at this point I don't have any clean clothes. And luckily, like the Westin had a robe on the back of the door so that I could wear
You just wore a
something.
robe for a week. I think that's awesome.
Yep, yep, I did. So I scrub all my clothes, put on the robe, rinse them out, wring them out, and then I try and line them up to dry because I'm like, I could be leaving in 2 hours, I could be leaving tomorrow, but I need some fresh clothes because I had been in these clothes for, at this point, almost a day. Actually, before that, when I was still at the airport, I called my boyfriend. He answers. He's like, "Hey, babe, how you doing?" Because he's in Italy at this point. He's having a
Oh,
glass of wine, sitting at a little cafe on the street. He's like, "Are you in London?" And I was like, "I'm gonna need you to calm me down."
yeah. Oh,
Normally, in a situation like this, because of my job, what I do, I'm a producer. I produce films and TV and commercials. And I put out fires Monday through
that's your
Friday,
job.
24
Yeah.
hours a day.
Literally.
It's so I need to remain calm, except for whatever reason, my bag not showing up
Yeah. You were like,
just threw me into another realm of uncomfortable,
yeah.
just
Oh,
yeah,
God.
it threw me for a loop.
It's all your stuff.
And he's like, "Okay, we're gonna get through this." He said, "Go to that hotel." Like they said, "Your bag's not there." And I was like, "But maybe it is." Anyways, it was never there. So I did get to the hotel, and at that point, I open up my computer and I, try and call British. I can't get through. It's like, "Boop,
Right.
boop, boop," don't you I don't even have access to get in the queue at this point. So I call you or I text you and I was like, "Hey girl, where are
I
you?
remember. Yeah.
Can you come save me? Or can I come to
Oh,
you?" Or something
gosh.
along those lines.
Oh, and I could
Anyway,
have given you a lot of stuff. Like, it would have been, I mean, enough to get you through, you know? You would just
it
be
was
dressing
fine.
it's all matching set jazzercise clothes.
That would have been great European
It's
vacation.
all I wear. That and overalls. Those are your choices.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So so finally I'm able to get through to British. So I'm on the phone with this young British gentleman.
Oh,
And I was like, "Sir," I, gave him the flight number, told him this my predicament, my situation, where I'm at. He said, "All right, it looks like your flight is now scheduled to depart at 9 p.m. tonight, Friday, but now it's like, let's say 9 a.m. in Washington, D.C. on Friday. So it's at the end of the day in Italy. I was supposed to be there hours ago.
mhm.
And he says, "All right, looks like your flight now is scheduled to leave 9 p.m. on Friday tonight." It will get you into London at like 2:45 in the morning, so Saturday morning. And then from there, your Milan flight has been rescheduled to Monday morning. And I said and I was like, "Well, that's not gonna work. I need to get to Europe." So I was like, "Can you get me close? I
Yeah.
don't care where I fly into, Germany, Italy, Switzerland, you name it. Like, I just need to get, somewhere and then I
Yeah.
can take a train. Like, I can
Yeah.
figure it out. I've, spent some time in Europe. I know how to do that."
You know
So
how to
he's
do it.
I know how to do it. So he's like, I can get you an 8 AM flight into Geneva." And I was like, "Perfect, I'll take it.
Sounds
And then from
good.
Geneva, I'll just jump on a 5-hour train ride to get into Milan."
Piece
I'm
of
like,
cake.
"Piece of cake." So, he's going through all this and I'm about to give him my credit card number to book and he's like, "And your luggage." And I was like, "Well, that's the problem." I was like, "My luggage never made it." And he's like, "Well, I can't book you this ticket without your luggage." And I was like, "Okay, I don't understand." He's like, I need to get you to the lost luggage department first." So I get on the another queue for like a 30 minutes to get into the lost luggage department. And I get this American girl and she's like, mind you, I am getting excellent service through British Airways. Like, everybody is
You're
very
doing good.
kind, very nice. They're attentive, like, they're paying attention. These poor people, who knows what they're dealing with because they are the main
Yeah.
airline at
Gosh.
Heathrow, so they are just going out of their minds at this point because that
I
entire
can't
airport's
imagine, right?
shut down. So, shout out to British Airways, honestly, like, they did such an amazing job. So, I get on the phone with her and she's like, "I can't find your luggage. It's still in the system with American Airlines because I flew American from Seattle to Texas and then
Right.
jumped on the British, but they're
Right.
all partners, whatever." She's like, "It's still in their system, so you're gonna have to deal with that. However, let's try and rebook you this ticket." And I was like, "Great, there's a 9 AM flight, my original flight and I tell her everything that this guy had just told me, and she's like, there's no notes in your file that you even had a conversation with this man, like, an hour ago."
Oh,
I was on the phone with him for an hour and a half, and I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "And there's no 9 PM flight tonight. What is he talking about? What are you talking about?"
who
And she's
are
like,
you?
"You want me to book this London to Geneva flight for you?" And I was like, "No, no, no, because if I can't get to London, like, how am I supposed to do this?" She's like, "You right now, everything's closed. We don't know when this flight is leaving, but it's not gonna be until at least tomorrow, and we can't
Right.
even get you into Milan till Monday or Tuesday at this point."
Mhm.
And so I hang up the phone and I call my boyfriend back, and I was like, "I think I might just have to go back to Seattle. They can't even get me into Milan." And at that point, I was supposed to be there on a Friday. We were leaving the following Saturday. What's the point of just coming for a couple of days and then flying back out?
Yeah,
I was
honestly.
like, "We'll do a trip another time. It's fine." And he's like, "No, no, no. You're at a big airport. You're on, the East Coast. We can get you to Europe." So he starts looking at flights and he's like, "There's nothing out of Dulles at this time of day anyways." So he's like, "There is a flight tonight, 8 PM, JFK, Emirates, one way into Milan." And I was like, "I'm in Dulles, which is Virginia. Like, how am I supposed to get to JFK? There's no flights from Dulles to JFK that I could easily get me there on time."
Right.
And then, like, simultaneously, we both are like, "There is the Amtrak.
Mhm.
There is." So right now it is about 1:30 or 1:15, and there is an Amtrak leaving Union Station in the capital, downtown Washington, DC at 2:50 PM. So I was like, "All right." I jump in the shower real quick, wash my body, get out. Or first and foremost, I bought that one-way ticket from Emirates for $890 from JFK to Milan, and I was like, "Fuck it, I've got a credit card, like, I'll just be paying interest until the cows come home."
Yeah.
And it
God.
also, like, I no longer have this fancy business class seat. I am in row 88 in the
Oh,
middle, all the way at the fucking back of the plane, but whatever, it's a
for
flight.
800. What? You're going to Milan. Come on.
Yeah.
It's an
So,
adventure.
it's an adventure. At this point, everything is an adventure, and I'm just
Yeah.
throwing cash out like it doesn't even
Yeah.
matter. Like, just
Yeah.
credit card, cha-ching, 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 who
Yeah.
cares? So, yeah, I buy this one-way ticket, and then I was like, "All right, we're gonna jump on the Amtrak." So I go downstairs, I call an Uber. He's sitting right around the corner, but it takes him 25 minutes to show up. He shows up at the hotel at 2 PM. This Amtrak leaves at 2:50. It takes an hour from where I'm at, from the Dulles airport to get to Washington, D.C. It is 2 o'clock on a Friday in our
Oh,
nation's
Lord, yeah.
capital.
Ooh.
I
Traffic is
get
not cute.
I get in this old Toyota Corolla with this
Yeah,
young
yeah.
guy. He's gotta be, I don't know, 23, 24.
God.
And he turns around and he's like, "Ma'am," I love how everyone calls you ma'am out there.
Mm.
He's like, "You going to Union Station?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm catching a train." He's like, "What time's your train?" I was like, 2:50. He looks at his watch and he looks at me and he's like, "That's an hour." I was like, "I know." He's like, "I'm gonna get you there."
Oh.
And I need to put an asterisk next to what I'm gonna say. What I'm about to say, ladies and gentlemen, is the following is true. I am not making up any of this. This is exactly how it happened.
Okay. Oh my God.
He slams on the gas right out of the hotel, runs a stop sign. We come up to a stoplight. He runs that too. He starts running stop signs, stoplights, going into oncoming traffic to get us on to the expressway.
66, yeah.
Yeah,
Or
whatever it
whatever.
is. I
Yeah.
don't know this area of town
I
whatsoever.
love him. We're gonna get you there.
We're gonna get there. And after, like, the first 2, stop signs that he ran, all of a sudden, I've got the little devil and the little angel on my shoulder.
Yeah.
And one of them's like, "Oh, no, 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 no. Like, it's not worth either of your lives for this." And the other
Yeah.
one's like, "Hey, fuck it. Fuck it. If this is how you go, then this is how you go."
It's kind of fucking
And so
amazing.
they're there the entire time. And then I start crying because I am, at this point, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. And I'm thinking, I'm like, what are you doing? You are going to take an Amtrak to get to JFK to try and like catch this 8 p.m. flight. It's now 2 o'clock. You've got 6 hours to get from Washington, D.C. or from Virginia up to JFK.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, what am I doing? So I'm just bawling, like, and I'm not hysterically crying. It's just silent tears streaming down my face at
And
this
you
point.
have no luggage.
And I have no luggage.
Like, whoa.
Yeah. I couldn't even brush my hair after I got out of the shower at the hotel because I didn't have a comb or a brush or anything. So I
just run
everything,
your
I
fingers.
just run my fingers.
I bet you looked gorgeous, though. I bet you looked tousled and just fly by the seat of your pants. I love this.
So I'm not joking. He is.
I love it.
He's driving on the Grass Meridian on the freeway. The freeway's out there. It's like 6 lanes per. He's driving in there. He weaving in and out of stopped traffic. It's Friday afternoon. He is going on the grass up one side. He went up on the hill to come back down. And he turns to me and he says, "Ma'am, I would normally drive on the sidewalks in a situation like this, but since we're in Virginia, the laws are a little heftier out here. I'm going to have to wait till we get into the District of Columbia before I start doing anything like that." And I'm like, "Look at what you're already doing, dude." I was like, "You're running red lights. You are driving into oncoming traffic. And we're just weaving in and out of the freeways at this point." And so we finally get into DC. We're out of Virginia at this point. And he does. He drives on the sidewalk at least twice that I can recall. And again, the angel and the devil are there and it's just like, fuck it, go. Like, if you're going to die, this is one way to die. And the other one's like, no, neither one of your lives. Oh, you both are so precious. And I'm like, shut up. I don't know what to do. So I stay silent. I just stay silent.
That's right.
And so we get into, I guess, downtown DC. Now, I had never been to Washington, DC before in my life.
Really?
I've never seen the Capitol or any of that. And he's pointing things out to me, and I'm like, cool, whatever.
Bless his heart.
I know, it's real cute.
I love him so
tour
much.
guide. And then at this point, or I think it was back on the freeways, in the back of the car where I'm sitting, like, this can is rolling around. And I happened to, look down, and I was like, I think that has alcohol in there. Like, that's okay, right? Like, he's probably just
bet you a
drinking.
passenger left that back there.
Probably.
That's what I think.
But anyways, I don't care. Like, I do not care.
Yeah.
I do not care about anything anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like, just wherever you're going to get me.
Take your bra off and throw it out the window like, who cares?
Totally.
Who cares?
So we're
How
getting close
exciting.
to Union Station, and I keep looking at my watch, and I'm like, oh my God, I've only got 10 more minutes before this train actually leaves, and I don't even have a ticket for this train. I know Amtrak stations are crazy.
Yeah.
Like, so we screech to a halt, and he looks left, and he's like, you see that building over there? And I'm like, across 6 lanes of traffic? He's like, uh-huh. That's the
That's you,
Amtrak
boo.
building. He's like, I
Yeah.
can't get there right now because we're bumper to bumper. He's like, but you can get out and run.
I will!
So
I'll do it! I do what I
yeah.
dreamed!
So I get out and like get my carry-on in my purse, and I have a bad knee, so I can't really run. I hobble.
Me too.
I am hobbling across like beep, 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 traffic right downtown. The Capitol's
Hey,
right
lady,
there.
brush your hair!
Yeah, the Amtrak's right over there. And I'm just like, oh my God, I finally run into the Amtrak station. Like, look, they're the ticket things. There's no line. I run up and I was like, I need this train into Penn Station. And the guy looks at me. He's like, you've got 3 minutes to get down there and make that train. I was like, give it to me. And he's like, $290. I was like, fine,
Damn.
whatever. So at this point, I'm out like $1,200 just to try and get to Europe.
But you
So
didn't.
I get the ticket. I run. I get on. 10 seconds later, they shut the doors right behind me. I'm on the last car in the train. It's the quiet car. And I sit down and I'm like,
Yeah,
like
really.
that's exactly me. People are looking at me. I'm crying again. And I finally sit down next to this girl, and she kind of like does one of these where she like tries not to sit next to me because here
Yeah.
comes crazy.
Yeah.
I am just,
Oh, God.
I am normally very composed.
You really
Not
are.
today.
I would give so much money to have been a fly on your shoulder to watch all of this go down. It's fascinating.
And I am just now trying to I settle into the last 45 minutes of my life. Like, what the fuck was that car ride? Who was this guy? He was
Love
an
him.
angel from another dimension who was
He
just sent to
was.
me to like haul ass to get me to this
Ma'am,
train.
I'm gonna get you there.
I'm going to
I
get
love
you
it.
there. Mhm.
Oh, that needs to be a bumper sticker, ma'am. I'm gonna get you there.
Beautiful. I will make
Love it.
that. That should be part of our
Or a
merchandise.
mug. Ma'am,
Man,
I'm gonna get
I'm
you
gonna
there.
get you there.
Yeah, I love it.
So I get on the train, and I look to this woman next to me, and I was like, I'm honestly like, I'm a normal person. I've just gone through it. And I
Did
tried
you
to
say that
explain
to
it
her?
to, yeah, I was like, I just have had like the last 24 hours have been crazy, flights diverted, and I'm trying to get
She's
to
like,
Italy. No, and she was actually quite sweet. She looked at me, and we're
oh,
supposed to be whispering because we're in the quiet car. And then
yeah.
this lady in front of us gets up and she turns around in her seat and she's like, "Mm." And I was like, all right, I will leave. Like, I will go to one of the other cars because I clearly can't be quiet.
Mhm.
I'm just fiddling with all my stuff. I'm fidgety. I'm anxious. I don't know what's going
Sure.
on. And, at this
Yeah.
point, I've never been on the East Coast Amtrak. So I walk like 8 more cars and I finally find this seat. And I was like, this is going to be my seat. I'm just going to sit here until we get to Manhattan. Amtraks are a piece of shit.
It's been a while since I've been on an Amtrak.
It's like a dumpster. It's like a dumpster.
A dumpster. It's a dumpster.
And then a few days later, I finally did make it to Europe, but sitting on those European trains, I'm like, you guys really need to up your game a little bit.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be much, but you need to up your game a little bit.
Someone bring a vacuum through here.
Yeah, vacuum would be nice. Vacuum would be nice. Also, maybe just clean it out, air freshener, something like that, because it was
Little
quite
bit.
stanky.
I bet.
So now I'm on the Friday afternoon 2:50 train from Washington, D.C. into Penn Station, Manhattan.
Mhm.
And I assume that, lots of commuters on this going into, the cities. But I try and settle into it. I had never spent much time on the East Coast. We stop in Philly, Baltimore. I get to see all these places that I've never been to. So I'm like,
So
embrace
cool.
it. I am like, just
Absolutely.
here we are. This is a once in a lifetime thing. Embrace what comes your way because
Absolutely.
you are making it. You are making this happen. And
Yeah.
even though every 10 minutes when I start to think about things, tears start streaming down my face. You do not wanna sit next to me. I am that lady. But I am trying to, make peace with it all, and I do.
Sure.
So I look out the window and just like, it's a beautiful country, and these cities look pretty cool even though you only see a little bit from the Amtrak
Yeah,
station.
but
So,
still.
yeah, at this point, I'm on the train about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and I'm looking at my watch and, it's almost 5 o'clock, and I'm like, "We're still nowhere near New York." And I'm like, "There's
Mm.
no way I am making this 8 o'clock flight out of JFK," because when I get into Penn
God.
Station, I then have to transfer to the Long Island Railroad, get on the Long Island Railroad to Jamaica Station, and from Jamaica Station,
Jeez.
get on to the JFK train that takes me
Oh
into
my
the
god.
airport. So I have 2 more trains to catch once I get into Penn
Oh
Station.
my god. That's a lot.
It's a lot, and I've got 3 hours from where
Mm.
I'm at in, I would say, maybe Maryland, Baltimore at this point.
Yeah.
So I'm like, "All right, I'm not gonna make this. I'm gonna have to stay the night in New York and whatever, I'll find another flight." So I download the Emirates app because that's who I'm flying out of JFK with, and I enter in all my information, and I'm looking down, and, I had been crying now for a good 12 hours. My eye
Bless your
and so
heart.
my eyes are, teary up. I pull out my glasses, and I'm, like, looking at my phone, and I'm looking up, and I'm like, "No, this can't be right. This can't be right." And it's like, a flight departs at 22, and I'm like, "But 22 is 10 PM, not 8 PM." And it dawns on me, I'm like, "My flight was never leaving at 8 PM, it was always leaving at 10 PM." So, just this wave of peace and relaxation washes
That's
washes
amazing.
over me, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I've got 5 hours to make this flight," and I was like, "I am golden, like, I am gonna make this flight. I'm gonna get to Italy tomorrow."
Wow.
So, finally,
Wow.
I'm able to relax a little bit. And we get into Penn Station, and I'm fairly familiar with Penn Station. I used to date a guy who lived in New York, so I flew in there all the time, and I'm very
Yeah.
familiar with JFK too. So Penn Station
I'm
is like,
very familiar with all of the
uh, you know, but
airports.
Penn Station in itself is like an ant colony. It's underground. There are caverns and tunnels and
Yeah.
people everywhere, and it's very confusing. And there's
Yeah.
multiple levels as well.
Right.
So, I'm used to taking the subway in and out of Penn Station, but when you take the Amtrak, it gets you on a different level, and then from there, I get out kind of into the big, what is it, mezzanine area, and I'm looking for the Long Island Railroad, and it's tucked away back, like, had I not just glanced back there when this one person just walked past me, I wouldn't have seen the LIRR sign up there, and so I run back there, purchase another ticket for, I don't know, 15 bucks or whatever it is, to get to the Jamaica station, and I
Right.
get on, and I'm, hopeful, and so I get to the Jamaica station, have to get out, purchase another ticket to get into
Oh my
JFK,
goodness.
which
Oh
is
my
like another
goodness.
$8 or something.
Lord.
So I finally get on the JFK train, it spits me out at the airport. I get into the Emirates line, I check, into my flight, and like, I'm stressed out. Again, I start crying. I,
Really?
like, go to the TSA, line, and it's, like, at least an hour long, but I have pre-check. Luckily, I have pre-check. So I go to the TSA pre-check line. I get through in about, I don't know, 10 minutes, and I start to wonder, I'm, like, looking around me, and I'm like, "How is it that I just literally, like, 4 hours ago, 5 hours ago, purchased a one-way ticket from JFK to Milan? I don't have any checked bags. I am clearly in hysterics. No one has pulled me aside to
Wow.
question what I'm doing."
Because you're a
Because
white woman.
'Cause I'm a white woman. I've got privilege right there. But
Mhm.
it did dawn on me. I was like,
Wow.
had I been any other race or a man, I would have gotten pulled aside.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, for sure.
Wow. Yeah.
So I come out of TSA, and it spits me down these escalators, and right in front of me
Everybody's
is a
spitting you everywhere.
I and right in front of me is a Victoria's Secrets. And now I had always my entire life, I've always wondered, I'm like, why is there Victoria's Secrets or, like, half of these other shops in the airport? And now I know. When you don't have luggage, you need underwear, you need
You need the
bras, you need
fantasies. Yep.
everything.
Yep.
So I go in and I, find a couple bras and some underwear, and I was like, "Well, at least I've got this." So I go to the bathroom
Yeah.
and I, put on some new stuff, and I'm feeling a
What
little
did it
bit
cost you, like $500?
yeah, it was
Bras
I
are
think
no joke.
they're no joke. I
so
think
expensive.
actually I found something on sale and they don't have changing rooms in there, so I didn't even know if they'd fit, but luckily it does, and it's actually one of my favorite bras because there's no underwire or anything, it's very comfortable.
Hell yeah.
So I go into the bathroom and I change, and then I put some fresh underwear on.
Did you hang on to your panties that you've been wearing for 48
Oh,
hours?
yeah,
You
because
did? Yeah.
at this point, I'm like, "It's an extra I'll wash it when I get to Italy." Like, "It's fine,
Very
I'll
good
wash
point.
it in the airplane bathroom if I have to." I go buy deodorant, I had to go buy a neck pillow. But I didn't have any of that stuff because I didn't think to bring a neck pillow when you're traveling business on an overnight flight where you can actually lay down and they give you pillows. I was like, "I
Yeah.
don't need my travel neck pillow." But
No.
now that I have to sit in row 88 in the middle seat on another overnight flight, so this will be my second overnight flight in 2 days, I'm gonna need that. So I'm sitting there at my gate and I start crying again after
Oh,
purchasing a $20 turkey sandwich that was horrible,
of
you know?
course, yep. Been
Yep.
there.
I'm sitting there and I go up to the gate agent and I was like, "Do you have other tickets, like in a premium economy maybe?" And she's like, "No, everything's booked." And I don't know why. At this point, I had just been shelling out cash. I didn't even like credit cards. I'm like, "It doesn't matter. It's fake money
Yeah,
anyways."
it's not real. It
So, but
doesn't
anyway,
matter.
she was like, "I can't. There's no other seats." And I was like, "That's okay." But then I had remembered that I'd brought some Xanax with me. Now, they had given me a bunch of Xanax when I was going through cancer treatments,
Well, yeah.
and throughout the years, I had kept them, and I had kept them for whatever reasons, like
Yep.
travel, this and that, and my last 2, I had, like, 1.5 pills on me, and I debated bringing those to Italy with me, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Well, maybe there will be a situation where I will need that," because I suffer from high anxiety and everything
Yeah.
else. So I pop half of the Xanax before the plane even takes off, and I'm like, "All right, now I can get on the plane and relax a little bit." And so I finally get on the plane, and I'm in, like, a bulkhead seat, so there's no seat in front of me, but it's, like, the last 15 rows of the plane. And when you're sitting in that seat, they don't let you keep your stuff with you, you have to put it in the bin overhead, except I hate putting all my stuff up there, especially my purse. So I sit on my purse and all the flight attendants are looking at me. And they're giving me the old stink eye, and I'm like, "Bitch, like, don't start."
You will not take my pass! You'll have to kill me first!
They're just doing their jobs. I
Of
understand.
course,
I
yeah.
know there's safety reasons for all of that, but I was like, "No one is taking my purse from me." It's like my security blanket at this
For
point.
sure.
I put my other bag up there, but so, get on this Emirates flight, everyone is beautiful. They all have the same slicked back hair, the
Yeah.
same color of lipstick, the same
Yeah.
stockings, like, that's just, again, it's another nice airline. They're just pleasant. So, we take off, I put on my neck pillow, I get my eye mask out, I pop my other Xanax, the whole one this time, because 'cause I'm like,
Yeah.
"Fuck it, I am sleeping."
Yeah.
So, I start to fall asleep. Our flight takes off at, I think, like, 10:20 PM,
Mhm.
and I'm supposed to land in Milan at 10, 11 a.m. or something. But before I leave, call my boyfriend. "I'm here. I'm on my flight. Everything's good." He's like, "Great. I will see you when you get here." So I was landing in Milan, but then I had to take another train to actually where we were staying in a small town outside, like an hour away called Varese. And I was like, "I'll catch the train into Varese. I'll see you tomorrow around like noon or something." Get on, and then I'm pretty much fallen asleep, and one of the flight attendants bonks me on I'm sleeping like this, bonks me
Yeah.
on my hands, and I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Can I get you some dinner?" And I was like, "It's 11 fucking 45. I don't want any
Whoa.
dinner." I didn't
He's
say
like,
that to him. I was
"Oh,
very
good. Okay."
pleasant, but that's what I was thinking. I was like, "Clearly this lady, I've got my earplugs in, I've got my eye mask on, my neck thing,
Yeah.
I have blankets all over me. I am trying to sleep." And
"Do
he's
not
like,
talk to me."
I know. I was giving off those vibes. Do not
Yeah.
talk to me, but yet he had to wake me up. I'm so frustrated at this point. So I finally go back to sleep. I actually get some sleep. I think I sleep for about 6 hours.
Oh, that's
And then
great.
yeah, and then I wake up about 3 hours before we land. I look at the screen. We didn't divert. Like, we are
Woo!
on course to land in Milan.
Wow.
We finally get there, land in Milan. And I get a text from my boyfriend. He said, "I have sent a driver for you. Look for your name." And I was like, "Oh my God, what a guy." So I come out. I don't have a bag to get. Come out of customs, and he's standing there. Bo is standing there with a sign. I know. Step up like a real gentleman. He came to get me. Yeah.
Ugh.
Mhm. And he
Oh, that could make me cry.
I know. He takes one look at me kind of up and down, and he's like, "I took the train here." He's like, "We're not taking the train." He's like, "I'm gonna get us a taxi." And
Yeah.
it's an hour away, and he's gonna
Well,
pay for this taxi.
yeah.
So he's like, "We're not gonna mess with the
I
train. You
mean,
need to just
Emily
get to the
really
hotel." I know. So
it's
what a guy. He totally steps up. So we get in a cab, and it takes us straight to our hotel.
oh, it was him!
It was
Ah!
him the whole
Sorry.
time. I
Oh god,
know.
I love it. Was he actually the Uber driver in where he's like,
I
"Ma'am,
know.
I'm gonna get you there."
I'm gonna get you there.
Oh,
Um, so we go back to the hotel. I really quick showered, and then I was like, I have to actually go get some clothes. I don't have any. I have nothing on me. So it's cut to montage of Pretty Woman.
yes!
Yeah.
Like European Vacation.
Yes, it's exactly European Vacation. There's
We'll be
music
pigs!
playing. I have my own soundtrack.
Oh
My
my
boyfriend
god.
brought out his credit card. Like, he's paying for a lot of this stuff. I get,
God
a
bless
couple new
him.
pairs of pants. We go to the lingerie store. I buy some pajamas and lingerie. I get some
Uh-huh.
shirts and
Okay,
stuff.
girl.
I walk out of there and I don't know, I've got now maybe 2 or 3 pairs of pants, like 3 shirts,
All you need.
jacket, some lingerie, and European prices or where we were in Italy, not expensive. Like, not
So
expensive at all. You can buy a pair of pants for 40 euro, which is nothing, but they're
right.
nice quality. Everything's made in Italy. It's all wool and all of this stuff. So actually we scored. I think that day we probably spent $300, which seems like a
It's
lot,
not
but
bad. No, it's not
but
bad.
for yeah, for really nice Italian stuff. So then we go out to lunch, come back from lunch. He had booked me a massage. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
sorry, I lost consciousness. What did you
yeah,
say?
he had booked me a massage. So we go back to our hotel and he's like, "Babe, I booked you a
Oh.
massage. Go downstairs. They're going to meet you right now." So, yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Good guy. So I
Oh
go
my
downstairs
gosh!
and meet with the masseuse. She doesn't speak much English and my Italian is no
But her
bueno.
hands do.
So she's like, "You take off all your clothes." I'm like, "Oh, cool. Fine. I get massages all the
Who
time."
gives a fuck? Yeah.
So I get on the table and there's only this like tiny little towel instead of like the full fitted sheet you might find here in the States. We're
Mhm.
very prude and modest compared
Yes,
to
we
the
are.
Europeans.
It's true.
So I get on this table and she comes in and she has me sit up. So I sit up and I'm holding the towel against my chest. And she looks at me and she's like, "Oh, oh, no, 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 no. Skin so dry. Skin so dry." And I was like, I wanted to tell her, I was like, "My flight got diverted. I
Bitch,
haven't,
listen.
I've been up for 48 hours. I've slept
Oh my
2
goodness.
like nights on airplanes."
Did you start crying?
I did. I started to like cry again. She's like, "No, no, no, no. We'll take care. We'll take care." So she lays me back down and she starts to massage me and she's like, "You are so tight and tense." And I was like, "Again, like I'm just I have this lovely massage. Halfway through, she grabs one of my legs and she pulls it up. And then she grabs the other leg and she pulls it up. You know when you're changing diapers on a baby and you
That's
pull their
exactly what
front
I'm
legs up
picturing.
because you're
Did she?
exactly like that. My hoo-ha in all of its beautiful glory, sticking right
Absolutely.
out. But she's
Why not?
rubbing the backs of my legs. She's getting into my butt. And I was like, man, to be European must be so nice. So
So
like
cool.
just no inhibitions. You can
Yeah.
let your beaver out anytime you want.
Your beaver. That's one thing to
I
call
was
it.
like, that's the problem with us
Yeah.
Americans. Like, we stem from the Puritans. But we come from, not all of us, but some of us, come from Europeans where they're like, "Yeah, we didn't want the Puritans anyways. You guys are no fun. Why don't you go over there and then ruin
Mhm.
everyone else's lives while you're at it, while you're
Yeah.
over there?"
Yeah.
So anyways, it was just kind of freeing to be like, they don't care about your body. Body's a body. They see it
A
all the
body is
time
a
and,
body.
a body's a body. Who cares? Why
Mhm.
do we have to like hide and be ashamed of our bodies? So I get the massage. We go out for we have this lovely hotel. I was like, I don't actually want to go out. I'd rather just, eat dinner at the restaurant here and then they have this beautiful old bar. It was this old hotel that
Oh,
was just in
wow.
that grand style of Italian
Yes.
architecture.
Exactly what you would picture, I
Yes,
imagine. Yes.
yes, it was gorgeous, and so we have some drinks before dinner, we go to dinner and finally go to bed, and then, 1 o'clock, the witching hour, I
Mm.
wake up just wide awake, and I'm like, "Oh my god, where's my luggage?" So I grab my computer and I go into the bathroom and I pull up, British Airways, American Airlines. I'm trying to find my bags. And my boyfriend is like, "What are you doing in there?" And I was like, "I'm looking for my
Yeah.
bags."
Yeah.
It's like, "I'm really nervous." He's like, "Babe," he's like, it they will find it or something. I'm like, "'Cause at this point, I don't know where they are, where my bags are going."
Yeah.
And when I was back in Washington, DC at the Westin Hotel, I had originally put in the address of the Airbnb that we were staying in Bologna, but we were only
Mhm.
there for 2 nights. And I'm like,
Oh,
"Well, wait, wait,
shit.
wait." I was like, "If it doesn't come or if it goes when I'm not there, then it's likely gonna get stolen because 'cause they're just gonna leave it." And so
Yes.
I didn't want that at all, and that's where I started to really freak out. Is like,
Yeah.
all of my nice things are in here. I have some sentimental pieces of clothing and jewelry in that bag too
Yeah.
that I don't wanna lose, like my favorite sweaters in there. I was starting to really freak out. So when we're in this small town before we even get to Bologna, I realized, like, they still hadn't tracked down my bags yet. We finally get into Bologna. They still hadn't tracked my bags. And at that point, I'm like, well, I'm only here for 2 more days before we then go into Parma, which is another part of Italy, and then, fly home from there. And so I
Mm.
decided to have my bags canceled and
Good.
just sent back home to Seattle. And I had enough clothes and stuff at this point that it was
That's
okay.
smart. That's what
Yeah.
I would do, yeah.
So I finally, the last time saw my bags, they actually made it to London.
They did.
They did.
Is it
But
more
that
than one bag, or is it
no,
just
I keep saying bags like plural, but it's only
I'm
one
trying to
bag.
picture, is it
Yeah, no,
on
no, no.
rollers?
It's
Is
on
it, like,
rollers, and
hard
it's
case?
okay, so here's the other thing. I am kind of, in retrospect, glad that they didn't make it because I brought my giant suitcase, chock-a-block full of everything. I think it was 43 pounds when I
That's
checked it.
right, I remember.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. So,
Barely made it to
lifting
coke.
that in and out of Italian trains, not a smart idea. You don't need that much crap, and this is what I have learned, you don't need that much stuff. You bring, like, 2 pairs of pants, maybe a pair of joggers, and, like, 3 or 4 tops, like a light
Boom.
jacket and a heavier thing, you're good.
Less
Like,
is
you can
more.
make so many outfits and maybe a pair or 2 of shoes. You can make do. Yeah, so my bags actually showed up back to my house, I think it was, like, Wednesday or Thursday, and I was getting home Saturday.
Mm.
So, they had their own European adventure
They
doing their
did!
thing
Oh
doing
my
its thing. I
god.
keep saying it there, it's only one bag.
Yeah, but we'll
Um,
call them there because we don't know
yeah,
if
yeah.
they identify man or woman, so
But yeah, once I was boots on the ground in Milan, Varese, Bologna, Parma, it was just a lovely experience. And, he was working half the time. So every day while he'd let me sleep in, I would get up. I had to work a little bit. So I'd work in the mornings, have an espresso, and then I'd, leave around noon and I'd go have lunch by myself
Oh,
and
oh,
walk around
oh,
the cute little town and
and your brand new
yeah,
clothes and your
and my
brand new
brand new
panties.
clothes. But moral of the story is, so
Yes.
I have a few things to say. Now, Emily, why would you spend so much money on a business class ticket with British Airways when you can find cheaper tickets elsewhere? Well, I tell you this, and after I had told this story to my brother, he said, I did the same thing, not business class, but it was just basic economy, but on a nicer airline, Singapore Airlines, because he flew to Asia once. He had similar flight fuck situation. He said, because you're paying for the customer service. And that is true. So at the end of the day, when he was in Singapore, he had a layover there. He actually went to the Singapore Airlines office. He got a full refund on his ticket. They gave him
Mm,
vouchers and credits because
okay.
of their mess up. So now, all this time with British, I kept all my receipts. When I finally got home, mind you, they were exceptionally responsive to all of my emails. I turned in all my receipts. Not only did they reimburse me for my Amtrak ticket, but also my Emirates flight. They reimbursed me
Wow.
for nearly all the clothes and toiletries that I had to buy because of my lost luggage. And they
Wow.
reimbursed me for the leg of my
Wow.
for the Dallas to London and my London to Milan. So the only leg of that trip that I had to pay for was Seattle to Dallas. They reimbursed all of that. So when in doubt, and if you're, you know, wondering, should I book on the budget airline or the nicer airline? At the end of the day, it's gonna come down to customer service. If something happens, you're gonna get much better customer service, much more responsive, and it's likely they're gonna reimburse you for almost
That's
everything. Now,
incredible.
I can't say, and it's because I hounded them. I
Yeah,
stayed on
you have
top
to
of
be,
it.
yeah.
I constantly was emailing them. I filled out every form to the T because I had to. I was like, this is it was thousands of dollars at the
Yeah,
end of the
I
day.
mean,
They
absolutely.
sent me a check for nearly $3,000,
That's
which it
incredible.
covered it all. So, I was like, at that point, had thought that they would reimburse me, so I felt okay spending all of this money, especially on the Amtrak and the other flight.
Yeah, yeah.
And I wasn't sure if they would on the flight because finally my original flight did take off out of Washington, D.C., but only 2 days later. I wouldn't have
Oh,
gotten into
lord.
Milan
No.
till Tuesday, and it wouldn't have been worth it.
Mm-mm.
But I could have waited there in that Westin without any clothes for, like, 3 days.
Washing your unmentionables in the sink.
I know, just getting
Real
room
soap.
service.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, moral of the story for me from now on, it's worth it to go with the nicer airlines just because when shit does hit the fan,
God.
you're likely gonna have an easier time at it. Second, thing that I learned is I don't need all that crap when I travel. I just
Wow.
don't. And most countries have clothes and toiletries. You can buy just about anything anywhere all the time.
Absolutely.
So you don't need much when on vacation.
So
It
true.
is helpful, and I've had a few other travel snafus, and these are stories for another time. I have learned that it is helpful to take out traveler's insurance for
Yeah.
the $200 or whatever it is because you usually gets reimbursed with all that. And so after my Costa Rica flight being diverted over Belize and having to go back to Houston, I thought, all right, well, there's my snafu, my travel snafu for a year or two or whatever. Nope.
Mm-mm,
Then this
mm-mm.
Italian trip happened. I've had a few more since, not quite as severe, but a few other things. And I think that whoever has my voodoo doll, will you stop, please?
Yeah. It's definitely not me, and I'm not lying. It's not me. I'm not lying.
Anyway, yeah.
I'm so sorry. That is the most incredible travel snafu story I've ever heard.
Yeah. But I mean, it all worked out.
It
And you
did, and
just
it's
have
a
to,
fucking great
sometimes you
story.
just have to lean in to the chaos
There.
and say yes.
Yeah.
Because had I said, no, I'm not going to take that JFK, I don't want to risk it. I don't
Oh,
want to do all of that. Then I probably would have turned around and come back to Seattle. Or I would have gotten in like 4 days late. I would have missed out on just that hauling ass through Virginia, going into oncoming traffic on the
oh,
sidewalk, nearly
in the
running people
grass.
over in
Oh,
the grass. I would have never seen our nation's capital.
no. You would never have that experience of Bo being at the fucking
I know.
terminal. That's
Yeah.
movie shit. I
Yeah, it
love
was
it.
movie shit.
I like you, Bo. I like you.
And then to take one step back and give me the up and down and being like, "No, honey, we're not taking the train. I'll take
No, ma'am.
I'll pay for a cab. I wanna get you there in 30 minutes as opposed to an hour." So and then he took me out to lunch and he took me shopping and he was with me in Sephora. He was like, "What kind of hairbrush do you need?" He stepped up. He stepped up.
Did you step up in the bedroom that night?
No, I was exhausted.
I was gonna say, I'm like, well, you shouldn't have because that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I know.
That's
And that's
abusive.
another thing, like, he noticed. He was like, "You get some sleep now.
Yeah.
Thank you."
I'm going to leave you alone now. Well, Emily, well done. That was
Mm.
I feel like I have also been on this trip. Like, I've been on the edge of my seat, just like, "Oh, freaking amazing.
So,
Bravo.
yeah, it wasn't the plan to
Get
have my flight
everything
diverted,
fucked." Yeah.
but you know what? I learned a lot of things, and it's just made me, a savvier traveler. I know it's
Hell
only been a
yeah.
year, although I do
For
tend to
sure.
overpack still.
Mm.
But I also everywhere I go, I kind of research, are they gonna have a hairdryer? What are the amenities there? Like, what's nearby just in case? Oh, and another thing everyone should always do, if you're checking luggage, in your carry-on, carry 1 or 2 pairs of underwear, another pair of pants, and another shirt.
Don't forget the panties. Yeah. That's
Yes.
smart. I like
Yes.
that air tag thing too. That chick,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So now I
that's
bought
smart.
air tags. I bought them cheap on Amazon. They're an
Mhm.
all of my
They worked.
suitcases. Yeah, and
Yeah,
they work.
smart.
So now I can track my suitcases, and I do that.
Wow. Well, that surely wasn't the plan,
And you know what? That woman in the airport when we were waiting for our luggage in Dulles,
handling it.
handling it. So always look for the helpers because it's likely gonna be a woman. She's gonna
Mm,
take charge.
not
Go to
likely,
her.
it's going to be a
Yeah,
woman,
it's going to be a woman.
100%.
I was trying to be nice, but it's always a woman.
It's gonna be a fucking
It's
woman.
gonna be a woman, likely a mom. She's gonna take charge. Stick with her.
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah.
Stick with the ladies, folks.
Yeah, and if you have questions, turn to a woman and ask.
Yeah, or email Emily because now Emily
Yeah.
knows so
Mhm.
much, you wise bird.
Yes. Yes. So that's it.
Wonderful. Congrats, I'm glad you're still here, and I'm so grateful to have heard that journey because that is something else. I'm
It was a
exhausted.
trip, all right. I it
You're
was
exhausted, you
I was
cried like 4
exhausted.
times, yeah.
I cried almost 24 hours straight.
Yeah, and you cried a couple times while telling the story, right?
No. Sure.
Huh,
Yeah.
I thought you did.
No.
It looked like you were just oh,
Tearing up. It's the
yeah,
sun beaming in.
in your
I
glorious
th
eyes.
there's some
God
sun
bless
coming
you.
in the window here. You got any other questions for me?
I mean, I think you laid it out, but I certainly think people might have questions, so I hope they reach out and email us at
That wasn't the plan pod at gmail.com. You can also find
yes.
us on YouTube, TikTok,
Mhm,
and
mhm,
Instagram.
mhm.
Or you can go to our website and contact us there at that wasn't the plan.com.
Yeah,
That is our website. Yeah. And guess what? This is our 10th episode.
we're 10.
We're
It's
10.
incredible.
I
We really did
know.
10. You
Yeah,
did
we've
it.
got
You
more
did
lined
it.
up.
Oh, I can't wait.
No, it's you too. I also want to shout out to our listeners. Thank you so much. But also, we want to hear your
Oh,
stories about that
that
wasn't the
wasn't the
plan.
plan.
They can be positive, they can be negative, they can be funny, they can be sad, whatever it is. Email us,
Absolutely.
write into us.
Yeah,
We will read those on the podcast. And also, if you have a lengthier story to tell and you want to be a guest,
we'd love to have you.
email us or go to our website and contact us there and let us know because we have guests and people are emailing in and letting us know. And so we will reach
It's
out to you
great.
and let you know if you can be a guest. And it's just a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
It is
It
fun
can,
because we're freaking fun and easy to talk to.
yeah, yeah. It can be any story, any pivot in your life. Like, sure, I had cancer and that was a huge thing, but also I had 48 hours of a travel nightmare. So
Yeah.
that's a pivot.
She sure did.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for listening, you guys.
And until next time, bye.
Bye.